The internet price that brought you in was $24,988, and that's exactly what the price is here. Okay, we're not playing any games. And don't forget, that is a $3,000 discount. So you add the taxes and fees in, and with what you told me you wanted to put down, and we'll talk about that in just a second, you've got a balance to finance of a little over $25,000. Now, what I'm going to show you over here is I'm going to give you choices. Our customers want us to give them choices, so we're going to give you choices. Running across the top, okay, I want to talk about the cash down. The first column is the number you told me you wanted to do. Okay, I'm going to encourage you to rethink that, and here's why. When you lower the balance to finance, some great things happen for you. Number one, the payment goes down, and I'm going to guess you're looking for a lower payment as opposed to a higher payment. Number two, you don't pay as much in finance charges, regardless of who you borrow the money from. You're one of our lenders or your Aunt Millie. Number three, you have the option to shorten the term because you have a smaller balance, which saves you even more money. So that's two more money-saving opportunities. Number three, I'm on number four, when you put down more cash, you erase the depreciation factor faster, which gives you the freedom to trade or sell it sooner. And when you lower the balance of finance, you shorten the term, well, you get to the dream payment faster, Joe. That's no payment at all. So taking that into consideration, you said you wanted to put down $24.98. Could you do $34.44 or $54.98?
Definitely can't do 54. I might be able to go a little bit more than a 24.98.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll get to that. We'll come back to that in just a second. Now, I've given you four terms running down the right-hand or left-hand side there. At 36 months, that's probably the highest payment you've ever seen anybody show you. Most dealers wouldn't do this for you, Joe. We do it for a couple different reasons. Number one, it gives you another money-saving opportunity in that it's a shorter term. Number two, it erases the depreciation factor much quicker, gives you the freedom to trade or sell sooner, and you get to the dream payment faster. Okay? Hey, but look, we got to be realistic. At 72 months, that payment is way more comfortable. It is also way more flexible because all those cool things I just told you about at 36 months, you can get at 72. You just do it in your own time frame.
Right.
You pay it off early. You get a raise, get a bonus, win some money in the lottery. Doesn't matter. There is no prepayment penalty. And at 48 and 60, those are what I call the best of both worlds. Okay, they're both a little bit lower than they would be at 36, a little bit higher than they would be at 72, but you save money, pay it off quicker, get to the dream payment faster. Do me a favor, let's just use that first column right now, okay? If you want to put down some more money, all it's going to do is reduce those payments. Which one of those terms works best for you? Put a check mark beside it and okay it down below so we can get your new Edge ready for delivery.
Well, I see that the one for the $34.98, the 72 payment of the $399 seems to be a little bit more where I'm leaning towards.
Okay.
But again, I don't have an extra $1,000. So is there any way you can get me on the 72 for the $399 with the same $24.98?
Joe, all the payment is mathematics. All right. We're using an average interest rate here. When we pull your credit, if in fact the interest rate could go down, it would drop your payment just a little bit, but we want to be conservative here. The only way to reduce the payment is to put down more cash, but if I were you, I'd keep that cash wherever you have it, stick with the 72, and okay the bottom of the piece of paper so we can get your vehicle ready for delivery.
Okay, so a little bit more cash down to help me with the payment, right?
Sure.
So then that means that you can probably take a little bit more money off the price of the car. That'll help me as well, too, correct?
Okay, Joe, bless your heart. You're doing what you're doing because you're a perfectly normal human being. It's what you always had to do in the past in order to get yourself the best deal from a car dealer. But remember, we had a talk a little bit ago. I told you that the way you had to do it in the past is no longer applicable because in order to get you here, what do we have to do?
You told me you had to advertise your best price.
We had to give you a $3,000 discount. If we don't do that, phones don't ring, email inboxes don't fill up, nobody shows up. Okay? You looked at other websites. I promised you two things, Joe. I promised you this would be a pleasant purchase experience. How's it been so far?
It's been really good.
I also promised you it'd be really fast, didn't I? You're slowing us down, Joe. I need your okay right here.
I mean, I want to sign, but you know, I just feel like, you know, I mean, what's an extra $500 to the dealership that makes millions?
First of all, we don't make millions, and what's an extra $500? If there was another $500 in there, Joe, we'd have given it to you already. Why? Because part of our profit picture is how quickly we turn the vehicles, meaning We bring them in. The faster we get them out, the better it is for our profit picture. We price our vehicles right at market or below, like I told you earlier. If there was another $500 in there, we'd have already done it. But I appreciate you asking it. Last question is, are there any other accessories or options you'd like to add to this vehicle before you take delivery?
That's a nice soft close. Maybe tint on the window, but other than that, that's pretty much it.
I tell you what, I'll find out how much the tint is. I don't think it's very much. Go ahead and okay the bottom so we can get this vehicle ready for delivery, okay?
I wouldn't go like that. I wouldn't.
Okay. It's not a hard close, but it's a persistent close.
Yeah, I like that.
One thing, I don't know if anyone's told you this, Dominique. You don't have to be a male. You don't have to be a female. You don't have to be old, young, white, black, well-educated, non-educated. You don't need to be any of those things to succeed in this business. But one thing you do need to be is persistent. If you take the time to help land me on the right vehicle, you have an obligation to me, yourself, and the store to ask me to buy that vehicle multiple times. However, in order to do that, you have to understand how to overcome objections or complaints in this particular case. Customers are going to try you on for size. Okay, they're going to give you pushback. That's not a big enough discount. I need more for my trade. You can lower that payment. You got to look them right in the eye and say, look, we can lower the payment. We can find you a cheaper car. That's not a problem. But you picked out a gorgeous car, a car you certainly deserve, and you absolutely can afford. Now, okay, at the bottom, so we can get that thing fixed up, ready to go, so you can start enjoying your vehicle and make this a fast purchase. You just got to look at them, and that is going to require some confidence. You're not there yet, okay? Which means you're a perfectly normal human being. But we want to get you there fast. Okay, I'm going to send you lots of videos to watch. All right, and you need to study this profession. People get into sales and they think there's no studying involved. I've got a master's degree. I've studied more about sales than I studied in high school, college, and graduate school. I still study. And the day I quit studying will be the day I need to quit working, which I hope is in the near future. But you have to treat this. You have to treat this as graduate school. The sales profession can be quite lucrative in a wonderful way to not just make a living, but to create a life. But you got to be good at it. Most salespeople aren't good at it. And it's not because they don't have the capacity to be good at it. It's because they get terrible training and they don't understand the importance of studying their profession. Where can you study? You can. I've got a YouTube channel. You should subscribe to it. It doesn't cost a thing. It's complimentary. But there's other sales trainers on YouTube too that are very, very good. I mean, I study other people as well. I'm always looking for people who are smarter than I am, and I really don't have to look that hard, as a matter of fact. And I pick their brains. Okay? So let's watch this and tear it apart if necessary. We'll see how my new camera works.